Hello and welcome. This is my solar return year in review. Today is my solar return. Well, technically tomorrow at like 3:36 a.m. is when the sun is exactly where it was when I was born, but July 23rd is my birth date. And I happened to come across the video I did last year talking about the ritual I engage in during my solar return. I've done it yet again, and I think I'm going to make this a thing where I share not only this ritual, but my own reflections on this past year. Oops, my little mic. This is something that was new this year is, mics and feeling like my voice was worthy of sharing. I was coming into that as I was entering my 33rd year. And I think that as the year has gone, I've gotten more and more comfortable in this space. Um, and what a gift, because I'm learning that I do have things worth sharing. And yeah, the fucks I give about the judgment that's coming or that might come, or the stories I make up of the judgment that comes from me being on screen like this doesn't actually matter. So here we are. And here is my brief reflection, hopefully brief reflection on this 33rd year. So I entered this year and people had talked about your 33rd birthday as like, Christ year or whatever. And I really hung on to that. That was something I thought a lot about. And I thought a lot about how it was a coming into myself. And that's exactly what this was. This year was a coming into myself even more deeply. I just like in a nutshell, I remember in the video, I'll just talk a little bit about what I watched in the video. I had gotten a solar return reading from some friends who had said I need to emphasize play. I think that kind of happened the best it could have given like my mental state. And man, let me tell you what. If you have not experienced a Saturn transit to your ascendant, let me tell you, people have said like it's either exhaustion or depression. And I'm like, wait, I think it was both, like in combination. So um, it was, it was, it was an intense year for so many reasons. I mean, if you're at all aware of what's going on in the world is loud, it's intense. So I felt like all of that just kept this belief, this pattern I have of like, oh my God, it's not safe out there. So I have to come back inwards, which both served me and in a lot of ways is, my pattern playing out, which is a whole other thing. But so the ladies had talked about more play in my year, which sort of happened. I didn't work a ton, to be honest. I had quit my job March of 2025, my full time job. I worked at a greenhouse seasonally, which I've done the last couple of years. That supplements my income. What else did I do? What else did I do? Yeah, I think I like filled in at a job that I've been doing off and on for a couple years. Um, I did just something that was really fun is I did some like outdoor brand shoots with my then partner, and those were really fun. Um, yeah, I had money that was like flowing in. What was I doing? Yeah, somehow I had money flowing in. I don't really remember how, but it was happening. And then besides that, I rested a lot. And in my rest time, sometimes I was cross country skiing. We had a beautiful winter where I was living, which I'm not anymore. Now I'm here in a completely different place, which is part of the coming into myself, this like Christ year moment. So yeah, the playing, yes, I rode my bike and um, I can't even think of what else I did. Went on vacations, like, camping. I didn't like travel anywhere, but yeah, just a lot of sweetness. Oh, thank you, son. um, I'm trying to think of what else. In that video, I mentioned, oh, the eclipse will be really important. And it was. It was during the eclipse that it was kind of like the culmination of an important relationship of mine. It was me becoming more aware of my own patterns and the way I'm self sabotaging. It was changes in friendships and relationships. It was new friends coming in, changes in hobbies and how I was spending my time, how I view myself and others. Um, it brought some like challenging, sticky points with people I'd looked up to, and that's shifted. Like the people that were my mentors, I don't consider anymore. And I have come into, I feel like I'm really starting to come into my own. So many beautiful connections, man. If I had to like, one of my favorite parts of this year is I just like so many beautiful connections. It was also this year that I realized I can do animal communication and mediumship and channeling. I took this year and did a 9 month channeling course that changed my life. Um, yeah, it's been a really, really beautiful year. It's been really beautiful to think about and reflect upon, but also want to make sure that I do not forget to reflect on how hard it was at times. The grieving and mourning that had to happen as like my family structure continues to change and shift in a way that is tricky. Um, some of like my relation with money stuff coming up. I mean, if you have stuff like relational, if you have money wounds, let me tell you what, they kind of just pop up all the time, don't they? But I feel like I am the closest to I've ever been to feeling more flow and alignment with that part of my life. Because that's what money does, it flows, right? So that's been beautiful. Yeah, in the last year, um, like I said, a significant relationship culminated. I moved, I bought a camper. Um, and these were all big things. They were things that I had to experience in order for me to come into like clear and clear alignment for me and what feels right for me. I've always imagined myself living in community with like minded people. Um, I imagine myself living simply. And I just was getting to a point where I felt like that wasn't happening in some of my relationships and that had to shift. Um, so, in that, yeah, I bought a camper and that's where I'm living. And it's been such a journey, beautiful in so many ways. I'm experiencing a freedom I've never experienced before. Having so little overhead allows me to work way less and do what I actually love to do, which is spiritual work, working with people, cultivating my skills.
Yeah, it's not without challenges, the living in the camper. Let me tell you what. I don't have running water. That's really hard. And that's, there's like, I feel like I've needed this experience and who knows how long it'll be. I had a reading yesterday from a psychic who said I would be in the camper for 3 years. I was like, that was my plan. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting more clear on my values, what's important to me,
Where I want to spend my time, effort, energy, money, resources. Yeah, there's so much. I feel like I'm going to finish this video and be like, oh my God, I didn't mention so many things, but I think this is good. I want to talk about the pull I did. I did the same one as last year using the same decks because they're still some of my favorites. And then one new one to me that I'm excited to work with and play with more. Yeah, that's one thing that's come into greater alignment too is I'm doing more and more of this work that I really love doing. It's being really welcomed by more people. I feel like I'm just so grateful. So fucking grateful. This year was really, really one for the books. I am curious about this upcoming year. I had a reading today with a beloved teacher of mine who said I'm in a Saturn year, so it'll move slowly and hopefully more intentionally. I'll spend more time coming back to my body this year. I will spend more time cultivating my work and my practices and what my life looks like. Coming into clear alignment about right relationship, both with myself and with others. Definitely been in a deep caring archetype role that I'm ready to shift into more balance, So yeah, also thinking about my relationship with water. That's been big this year. Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna swing this camera around and talk about the cards I pulled. This day has been beautiful. I want to say that I've had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. The astrology was wonky to wonky, like Mercury stationing retrograde today. The moon is void of course in Scorpio, and it's like a 27-hour void of course moon. Saturn's about to station. Like we have some like tricky energy we're navigating, but today has been really, really beautiful. I've been able to share some shared conversation and space, and just the messages coming in. I'm really feeling loved. It's hard to feel that sometimes. I will say that that's like a me thing. Like sometimes I have a hard time allowing myself to feel loved, and I feel really loved today. So I think is like a testament to where I am and the inner peace and love that I continue to cultivate. And this is cutie. I hope this looks as cool as it feels. Yeah. Thank you for being here for another year. And as much as you sit through this or not, this is both like mostly for my process. I'm doing this for me and for all versions of me, and for remembering what I'm building right now, because I'm building something. A body of work is making its way to me that I think will unfold over time. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to cultivate love and stillness and gratitude and deep connection and reciprocity and right relationship with earth and cosmos and families of all kinds. So, yeah, thanks so much. I'm going to whip this around now. Okay, so here is my sweet little setup with the beautiful flowers. Sorry, I'm just sitting down. This is my sweet little setup. Got my candle, got my ritual. I'm trying to think if I talked about enough. Oh, I remember. I feel like last year I had like the Page of Wands. She was super flirty. I feel like that was pretty resonant in terms of like the playfulness I was trying to embody. I can't remember the other ones. I do remember a leaping card, and I really feel like this year was a year I took the leap metaphorically. In terms of like investing in myself and in my business. I feel like that really happened this past year, so that was pretty resonant. Oh, I do remember. So I use the same decks because they're my favorite, and with one additional one. So I'm using the Poesis Oracle, which let me see if I can see this. Oh yeah, use Poesis Oracle. Using Playful Heart Tarot, one of my faves. I think these are all my faves. Story Medicine Woman, which I believe is currently out of print. Like, what is going on here? I don't know. If anyone knows anything about this, I'd love to know more. So that's my soul deck I mentioned last year. Nothing has changed. It's still my soul deck, as well as a deck that's new to me, and it's the Wild Chorus guide, the Wild Chorus Oracle. And I'm really, really loving this deck. It's super potent and has a lot of great messages. So that's what we're working with today. Last year for my like energy of the year, I pulled the Knight of Swords, which was like I grieve in motion, or like I moved through my fear with the grace of a jellyfish. I remember now. That was so resonant. And it's just kind of culminating now. Like fear, because of just like many things, is a big part of my experience. Fear of all kinds, like annihilation and like, or what seems like irrational things. So I feel like with that being the card of the year, I moved through a lot of things that I was really afraid of, and also learned tools and the point at which a lot of those fears happened. So I feel like that card was so resonant. I thought my cards last year landed really beautifully. So I'm curious to see how it goes again this year. So my card of the year is, I love this. I want to again make sure I can see this. I have the Magician, and I'm so excited for this. Mercury is on my ascendant in my solar return chart, and this is a very like mercurial card. I'm very excited to see how, yeah, this flying, the cauldron, the magic of it all. Yeah, I'm like thinking about like my alien self that really wants to like be expressed, and by alien I mean like the parts of me that don't feel like they belong, right? Like I think it's something that a lot of us feel, and maybe not. Maybe that's just part of my own story, but maybe part of this year's magic is me feeling into that, coming more into right relationship with that part of me. So I also asked, what is my focus of the year? And I got the Nine of Pentacles. Love this for me. Love this for me. Look at this like joy, wish fulfillment. I love the Three of Pentacles over here, which makes me think of like cultivating and collaborating with people, which I really, really am excited about. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 in this tree makes me think of reciprocity, and maybe through family is coming through right now. So I'm curious about this. Yeah, I like this for like big joy, happy, happy. I did ask too for some clarification on focus, and I did get work, which did come up in a reading I had done both yesterday and today, that this will be, like I said earlier, a Saturn-ruled year, focused on work, like this weaving and unweaving. There's a patience to this. It's a good message for me because I tend to move fast. I tend not to be patient. So with the Nine of Pentacles being like, listen, you're building your dream life and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes work. This is really reassuring. I really love this. Then I asked for a gift to receive. Yes, gift to receive. And I got the King of Wands. I'm very curious about this. I'm curious if this is a person who wants to come in and bring their passion and help me out. And I say help me out because this like thing makes me think of like a hospital. Maybe this is a new mentor. There's some peacefulness to this card, even though it is a wand, so it moves quickly. Ooh, there's some like playful, flirty energy here too. I am curious about this. So this is a gift to receive. Like, let myself receive this assistance, you know, this passion. Maybe this is part of like the collaboration that I'm seeing happening. This is funny, but also not. I asked for a gift to give and I got silence. And I'm curious about this. I'm curious if this is like really leaning into my projectorness and it's like not offering advice, especially when it's not asked for. That's hard for me because I'm like, wait, don't you see another way? Don't you see the better way? Silence. Yeah. It's interesting because it's not listening though, because I'm like, oh, so maybe I just need to listen more this year. It's not about that. I'll have to read the guidebook about this when I finish. So finally, I asked for like one more little message about the theme of my year, and I got Asleep in the Body's Boat. And because this is a new deck to me, I'm going to pull up the guidebook. Asleep in the Body's Boat. Yeah, and it does talk about surrender and recovery. This card asks you to surrender. Something is out of your hands, already in motion, and impossible to even see from here. You may need to prioritize rest, visioning, and not knowing for a time. You may need to release the desire to navigate out of these dark waters and trust you will see better when the sun rises. Pulling this card draws a sort of veil over whatever answer you're looking for. And to dwell in the mystery. So on top of this, I've been seeing bobcats in my area, and that card is all about life as a mystery. So I think if I will let myself, I really want to lean into the mystery this year. I'm trying to think if there's like intentions. I love this. There's like a little attunement at the bottom, and it says, let yourself be soothed and carried, feel held by the vessel of your body, follow the cues of your body, sleep, dream, release control, be swallowed by the mystery. Okay, heard. So beautiful. This pole is gorgeous. What do I want to call in this year? Just like continued alignment, aligned clients in the work I love doing, aligned teachers to help me learn what I'm ready to learn. I hope to forgive my family lineage, to like tend to the parts of myself that I've been rejecting. Ancestry, it's hard for me. It's big work. It's just coming to the fore. I want to do some work around that. Coming back to my body, collaborating with people that are aligned. Yeah, share my voice, share my gift, do core pattern work, let this big body of work that wants to move through continue to percolate and come in, and let myself rest and surrender and not have to have it all figured out, you know. I have much of life left, so that's what I got. Thanks so much for being here. I am excited and eager and anxious and I'm all the things, but I am mostly human and excited to continue to feel into that. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, thanks so much. See you on the other side.